Welcome to this comprehensive guide on finding the volume of a cylinder. I'm excited to walk you through this essential mathematical skill that you'll use throughout your studies and in real-world applications. First, what exactly is a cylinder? A cylinder is a three-dimensional shape with two circular bases connected by a curved surface. Think of a soup can, a water pipe, or a storage tank. These are all cylinders we encounter every day. Volume represents the amount of space inside a three-dimensional object. For a cylinder, we want to know how much liquid it could hold, or how much material fits inside it. The formula we'll be using is V equals pi r squared h, where V is volume, r is the radius of the circular base, and h is the height of the cylinder. Throughout this video, you'll learn to calculate the volume of various cylinders, from simple examples to more complex real-world problems. We'll cover different types of cylinders and share helpful tips to ensure your calculations are always accurate. By the end of this guide, you'll have the confidence and skills to tackle any cylinder volume problem. So grab your calculator and let's dive into the fascinating world of cylinder volume calculations. Volume represents the amount of three-dimensional space that an object occupies. When we talk about the volume of a cylinder, we're asking how much space is inside this cylinder. Think of a cylinder like a water bottle or a soup can. The volume tells us exactly how much liquid or substance it can hold inside. To calculate the volume of any cylinder, we need to know exactly two key measurements. These measurements are essential for our volume calculation. The first measurement we need is the radius. The radius is the distance from the center of the circular base to its edge. This measurement determines how wide the cylinder is. The second measurement we need is the height. The height is the perpendicular distance between the two circular bases of the cylinder. This tells us how tall the cylinder is. Notice that the height is always measured perpendicular to the base. This means it forms a right angle with the circular base, creating a straight vertical line between the top and bottom of the cylinder. These two measurements, radius and height, are all we need to calculate the volume of any cylinder. The radius tells us about the size of the circular cross-section, while the height tells us how far that cross-section extends upward. Understanding these fundamental measurements is crucial because they form the foundation for the volume formula. In the next section, we'll see exactly how radius and height combine mathematically to give us the cylinder's volume. The formula for calculating the volume of a cylinder is V equals pi r squared h. This elegant mathematical expression contains everything we need to find how much space is inside any cylinder. Before we dive into the components, let me show you what we're working with. Here's a typical cylinder. Notice it has a circular base and a specific height. Let's break down each part of this formula. The letter V stands for volume. This is what we're trying to find. Volume measures the amount of three-dimensional space inside the cylinder. The symbol pi is a mathematical constant that appears whenever we work with circles. Pi is approximately equal to 3.14159, and it represents the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. The letter R represents the radius of the cylinder's circular base. The radius is the distance from the center of the circle to its edge. The letter H represents the height of the cylinder, the perpendicular distance between the top and bottom circular bases. Now here's the key insight. The term pi r squared calculates the area of the cylinder's circular base. This is the standard formula for the area of any circle. The beautiful logic of this formula is that we multiply the base area by the height. Think of it as stacking many thin circular slices on top of each other. Each slice has the same area as the base. So our complete formula V equals pi r squared h gives us the volume by multiplying the circular base area pi r squared by the cylinder's height h. This fundamental relationship works for any cylinder, regardless of its size. Now that we understand the cylinder volume formula, let's break down the calculation process into 5 clear, manageable steps that you can follow for any cylinder volume problem. Step 1. Identify the radius of the circular base. The radius is the distance from the center of the circle to its edge. This is a crucial measurement because it directly affects the volume calculation. If you're given the diameter instead of the radius, remember that the radius is exactly half the diameter. So if the diameter is d, then the radius equals d divided by 2. Step 2. Calculate the area of the circular base using the formula b equals πr². This gives us the area of the circle that forms the bottom of our cylinder. Remember that pi is approximately 3.14159, and r² means r multiplied by itself. This formula gives us the area in square units. Step 3. Identify the height of the cylinder. The height is the perpendicular distance between the top and bottom circular bases. Make sure this measurement is in the same units as your radius. It's crucial that both the radius and height are measured in the same units. If they're not, convert one to match the other before proceeding with the calculation. Step 4. Calculate the volume by multiplying the base area by the height. This gives us the complete volume formula, V equals B times H, which is the same as πr² times H. Step 5. Always include the proper units in your final answer. Since volume is three-dimensional, the units will be cubic units, such as cubic centimeters, cubic meters, or cubic inches. Following these 5 steps systematically will ensure you calculate cylinder volume correctly every time. In the next section, we'll apply this step-by-step process to solve actual problems with specific numerical values. Now we'll work through our first example to see how the volume formula works in practice. We have a cylinder with a radius of 3 centimeters and a height of 20 centimeters. To find the volume, we'll use our formula V equals πr²h. We need to substitute our known values into this formula. Step 1, we write down our volume formula. V equals pi times r² times h. Step 2, we substitute our known values. The radius r equals 3 centimeters and the height h equals 20 centimeters. Step 3, we calculate 3 squared. 3 squared equals 9. Step 4, we multiply 9 times 20. 9 times 20 equals 180. Step 5, we multiply by pi. Using pi equals approximately 3.14159, we get 180 times 3.14159 equals 565.49. Therefore, the volume of our cylinder is 565.49 cubic centimeters. Notice how we include the cubic units in our final answer, since volume is always measured in cubic units. This completes our first example. We successfully applied the volume formula step by step, carefully calculating each part to find that our cylinder has a volume of 565.49 cubic centimeters. Now we'll work through our second example. This time we have a cylinder with a diameter of 24 centimeters and a height of 30 centimeters. Notice that this time we're given the diameter instead of the radius. This is a common situation, so we need to convert the diameter to radius first. Remember, the radius is always half the diameter. We substitute our diameter value of 24 centimeters into the formula. So r equals 24 divided by 2. When we divide 24 by 2, we get 12. So our radius is 12 centimeters. Now that we have our radius, we can move to step 2 and apply the volume formula. We'll use V equals πr²h. Now we substitute our values. We have r equals 12 centimeters and h equals 30 centimeters. So V equals pi times 12 squared times 30. First, we calculate 12 squared. 12 times 12 equals 144. Next, we multiply 144 times 30. This gives us 4,320. Finally, we multiply by pi. Using pi approximately equals 3.14159, we get V equals 3.14159 times 4,320, which equals approximately 13,564.8 cubic centimeters. So the volume of our cylinder is approximately 13,564.8 cubic centimeters. Notice how we carefully converted the diameter to radius first, then followed the same systematic approach as in our previous example. This methodical process helps us avoid errors and ensures we get the correct answer. So far, we've been working with right circular cylinders, but there are actually several different types of cylinders, each with their own volume formulas. Understanding these variations will help you tackle any cylinder volume problem you encounter. First, the right circular cylinder is what we've been using. It has a circular base, and the height is perpendicular to that base. This is the most common type you'll encounter. A hollow cylinder has a hole running through its center. Think of a pipe or a tube. It has both an outer radius and an inner radius, so we need to subtract the volume of the inner cylinder from the outer cylinder. An elliptic cylinder has an oval or ellipse as its base instead of a circle. To find its volume, we multiply the area of the elliptical base by the height. The area of an ellipse uses both the major axis and minor axis. Finally, there are slanted or oblique cylinders where the sides are not perpendicular to the base. Interestingly, the volume formula remains the same as a right cylinder, as long as we use the perpendicular height, not the slanted side length. Understanding these different cylinder types helps you choose the right formula for any situation. Whether you're working with pipes, oval containers, or tilted structures, you now have the tools to calculate their volumes accurately. Now that we've worked through several examples, let's explore some essential tips and tricks that will help you calculate cylinder volumes accurately every time. The first and most important tip is to always ensure that your radius and height measurements are in the same units before you begin calculating. Here's a common mistake. Suppose you have a cylinder with radius 5 centimeters and height 2 meters. If you use these values directly, your calculation will be incorrect. Instead, convert both measurements to the same unit first. Convert the height from meters to centimeters. 2 meters equals 200 centimeters. This conversion ensures your final answer will be in the correct cubic units, in this case, cubic centimeters. The second important tip involves how to handle pi in your final answer. Sometimes you'll be asked to leave your answer in terms of pi, while other times you'll need to calculate the decimal value. When the problem asks you to leave the answer in terms of pi, do not multiply by 3.4159. Simply leave pi as a symbol in your final answer. However, when you need a decimal answer, multiply by the value of pi, which is approximately 3.14159, and round to the appropriate number of decimal places. Let's review some common mistakes that students often make when calculating cylinder volumes, so you can avoid them. Mistake number 1, confusing radius and diameter. Remember, radius is half the diameter. If you're given the diameter, divide by 2 to find the radius. Mistake number 2, forgetting to square the radius. The formula requires r², not just r. Mistake number 3, using incorrect units in the final answer. Always check that your volume units are cubic units, such as cubic centimeters or cubic meters. Understanding cylinder volume calculations is crucial in many real-world industries and applications. In the oil and gas industry, engineers calculate the volume of cylindrical storage tanks to determine how much fuel they can hold. Manufacturing companies use cylinder volume calculations to determine material requirements for cylindrical products and containers. Water management systems rely on cylinder volume calculations for designing pipes, water towers, and treatment facilities. Mining operations use these calculations to determine the volume of cylindrical equipment and storage containers for materials. Here's a quick checklist to ensure accurate cylinder volume calculations every time. First, verify that radius and height are in the same units. Second, remember to square the radius in your calculation. Third, use the correct formula, V equals pi r²h. Fourth, determine whether your answer should be left in terms of pi or calculated as a decimal value. Finally, always include the appropriate cubic units in your final answer. With these tips and strategies, you're now well equipped to tackle any cylinder volume problem with confidence and accuracy. Practice these techniques, and you'll master cylinder volume calculations in no time.